Hey guys, you're watching the recap of Below Deck Mediterranean Episode 2. We got a lot to talk about, so stay tuned. It's game time.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I love this song.
I do too. I love the Beach Boys.
Very beachy. I like your guys' moves over there.
I'm just lucky to be next to her.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for Below Deck Mediterranean Season 1, Episode 2. It's game time. I'm your host, Jamie Banks, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JamieBanks_. And with me are my lovely co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Angela Struck, and you can find me on Twitter at @TheAngelaStruck and on Instagram at AngelaStruck.
What's up, guys? Glad to finally be here. My name is Michael Rippe. You can find me on social media at Mike Rips.
So I thought this was another good episode. What did you guys think?
I thought it was so good. There's some sparks, flaring between a few of the cast members, so that was kind of interesting. And it seems like some people are also going to butt heads, so it was a good episode.
We saw all types of sparks in this episode.
Yeah.
From the cat fights between the girls, a couple sparks between guests.
Yeah.
And deckhands.
Yes.
I mean, across the board we saw sparks.
There was a lot going on.
Definitely a lot of tension. Mm-hmm. So right off the bat, there's already some drama about the game. We're not sure if it's going to actually happen. What did you guys think?
I mean, come on, either go to Greece and enjoy Greece, and if you're that big of a fan, then stay home and watch NFL. You know what I mean? It's like, why is he obsessing so much over this game? But whatever, it's his thing.
Angela.
They pulled it off.
No. I'm going to tell you something for all the men out there that like Sunday fun days and football, and they watch every game on Sunday.
All right,
and their
I
team.
know.
So you could go to Greece, you go anywhere, but you support your team. That's a real loyal Steelers fan. I'm not a Steelers fan myself, but I can respect it that wherever he is, he wants to watch his team. So I'm 100% with that guest.
All right.
I like the commitment because it wasn't even during the day. He's up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
4 a.m.?
Well, he was certainly committed, but I mean, he's a diehard fan.
I appreciated the commitment. I felt bad that it was such a struggle, but no. He's good for him. I like that.
Yeah, I felt like it could go both ways because one, he did say that it was a non-negotiable, but at the same time, you are in Greece, you're at the other side of the world. Can't you just miss one game?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, when you're overseas, especially on a boat, I mean, it can be hard to get your email, much less, stream a game live. So it seemed like a big feat. But I mean, I think they did a pretty good job pulling off what they did.
They got something out of it, but
something.
I thought that another part of this episode that I enjoyed in that scene was that I think he may have created a drinking game. Every missed field goal, double it.
Oh, really?
That was it, right? Yes, and that's what he said. He said that, I believe, to Tiffany. He said every.
Oh, that's what he was saying. Double my drink.
Exactly.
And
Instead
that's
of
why
just
he
a
had
single.
18 drinks.
This could be the start of something out there. So if you're watching, you like to drink during Sunday football games. Every missed field goal, double
I didn't
it.
get that. Nice. Okay. All
And
right.
so
That is pretty good.
then later he had about 18 drinks. They said, still going strong.
He wanted to go out on the little boat.
And I can appreciate a situation. There's nothing more frustrating though when you think you're gonna watch the game, you've waited up, it's your team, and then it's not working, and there's the buffering and the streaming. And for him to keep composed, and at least they didn't show him too upset. They kept working, and they actually got him into the fourth quarter.
I mean, he was on
see it.
national television.
Yeah.
I'm
True.
sure behind the scenes he was really even more upset. But yeah.
Yeah, they built it up so much. I was like, is it going to actually work? Or are they just building up to disappoint us? I think you're the one. You're like, it's not going to work.
He was like, it's not going to work.
Could tell they were going to set him up for
Yeah.
that. But it did finally work in the fourth quarter, so you got to see some of it, so you're happy about that.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting time for sure.
And it was interesting because he said, Tiffany, bring me a drink. Or she brought her own drink. And then it ended up working. And so he called her his good luck charm. And then later she got in trouble for that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, the guests definitely wanted her to stay there and be a part of the game experience. But at the same point in time, it's kind of what Brian was saying is you can mingle and you can be there. But you can, actually, they both kind of said it. Brian was saying, you can't mix too much. But also Julie was saying you can be doing one thing, but also another, multitask. So she could have been in there being a part of the game experience, but also fluffing a pillow, as she
True.
said.
It's also true. It was at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. They kind of made her stay up.
Yeah.
She is third stew. So just think about if you're in that position at that time. I mean, how much multitasking are you doing at 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
tough
but
one,
it's your
right?
job.
It is-
Yeah.
what is the job at that point, though, at 6 a.m.? Are you still always cleaning? Like, is it always?
Follow the list, Michael. Come on. Hannah's made a very strict list.
We'll get to Hannah.
So another guest that was another crew member that was socializing was Danny, who got in trouble with Brian. What did you guys think of this?
Well, I think Brian is trying to put his foot down this episode. That's kind of what we saw from Brian. He's in a leadership position. He seems like he has it together. He wants to kind of nip any loose ends time up early so it doesn't get out of hand. So he's kind of, I wouldn't say he's running a tight ship, but he's kind of trying to enforce his will on his crew, and that makes sense. And Danny, I think he's going above and beyond, but sometimes it looks like Danny might be doing too much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I thought that was a tough one because I understand where Brian's coming from. Sometimes if you are a guest on something like that, you don't want to feel like you have to talk to the crew. So it's kind of like he's kind of looking out for the guests and saying, hey, don't be too friendly with them. But at the same point in time, the guest had, engaged Danny and was trying to have a conversation. He was a bit drunk, I think, at that point. So you can't really just, disconnect. But that was kind of my impression. I don't know. I thought it was a tough one.
Yeah, I felt like it wasn't Danny's place to start the conversation, but since the guest started it, I felt like he could go along with it. And
Right.
you want to be a social person and go along with it. So
Friendly.
I don't know. I don't think it was bad that he continued the conversation.
It's just it's a balance, right? You gotta balance it and find your way. I didn't think either of them were kind of outstepping what they should do.
Right.
I thought
Right.
they each have different roles and they're trying to play them.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention, if you are joining us live, please join us in our live chat. We'd love to hear what you guys have to think. We might read your comment. So please do that.
And respond and yeah.
So we're already seeing some bromance between Bobby and Brian. Clearly, Bobby's the favorite already of Brian.
Yeah. I mean, I think I actually loved Bobby's, they juxtaposed what Jen said with what Bobby said. And Bobby was like, I'm a sponge and I just want to soak it all in and learn. And he has such a good attitude, I think, because he comes from a firefighting background. He's a team player and he wants to learn and he's not above learning. Whereas Jen is just like, I've done it. I'm over it. I don't want to be looked down on. And it's like, she showed up late the last time. She's kind of got a sour attitude. If you want respect, respect has to be earned. And I just don't know if she's doing that yet.
Yeah, Michael, any opinion?
Well, I mean, I think that it's clear Jen has issues with being told what to do. Mm-hmm. She seems to have excuses left and right. She didn't like going to Greece. What was that all about?
Okay, yeah, that was very upsetting. I mean,
Why
I would
would you
love to be there right now.
Why would you do this show, and then complain and be like, I don't like to be here.
Yeah.
There's nothing great about here. The food is... I didn't understand that at all.
I miss Starbucks.
I mean, it looked beautiful, and how could it not be beautiful? And so...
She said she hates that the buildings are all old.
I know.
She just
And it's
seems
just like, girl.
very negative.
Yeah.
I mean, you could stay in America and get a job there if that's what you want
Yeah.
to do.
Debbie Downer.
No one forced her to go to
Yeah.
Greece.
Yeah.
And people would love to go to Greece, be paid on a super yacht. Life
It's a
is
dream
not,
job for
life is
sure.
Yeah.
life is good, and she's acting like it's the worst thing possible.
Exactly. And when you're
Weird.
in a situation like that and you're all in, tight quarters and you have to work together, somebody like that really brings down the group's spirit. So, give me Danny, give me Bobby with their can-do attitude any day. I just think somebody like that. And Tiffany, or is it, yeah, Tiffany is the same to me a little bit.
Definitely. I think Tiffany was a little bit annoying to me because she's saying, oh, well, I want to be captain. Well, you can't be captain if you don't do the grunt work and you don't do it well. So you're never going to be like a CEO if you don't do the PA job. So
Yeah.
you just kind of got to suck it up and prove your worth.
And more importantly, that's not what you're being paid for right now. I thought that was a good point that Hannah brought up. She was like, do the job that you signed up for now. If you want to do that later. But right now, you're stew. You're a third stew. So suck it up.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna just disagree a little bit
Go
as
for
far
it.
as Tiffany. I'm gonna take Tiffany's side in the fact that
You would.
I will. I'm right now, at least. So for Tiffany, it seems like Hannah's picking on her. It seems like the way Hannah is talking about or talking to her, I didn't like that. Hannah talks about how she got called a mom, and Hannah calls her a trash bag. There's nothing that's not even close to the same thing.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's rude. And when they're talking one-on-one later in the episode, she's pointing at her face. That's a very disrespectful thing to do to someone.
Tiffany.
And Hannah talks to her about how you're taking 5 hours, it takes me 1 hour. If Hannah's the leader, it's Hannah's responsibility to show Tiffany the way before immediately telling her about, well, what can you do in 5 hours? I didn't even think Tiffany was really complaining at night. She's just talking.
Yeah.
And Hannah's turning it around, and I thought that was a time where it was Hannah, Tiffany. That's something that I feel like is a little bit more frequent with females. Cat fights.
Yeah.
Men get into it too, but I think it seemed like that was just a girl thing. She's just a little jealous up. There's a little bit of tension there. They're kind of vying for the same thing. It seemed like Hannah kind of was digging Brian.
Yeah.
Ben. Yeah.
Well, Ben too, but I thought at the start that Brian and her, they were...
Okay, she's taking them both.
Interested in anything, I think.
And then I thought that Brian stuck up for Tiffany, so I thought that made Hannah mad, and it seemed like a couple things there I just didn't really, appreciate across the board. But you know who I did appreciate? Chef Ben. Chef Ben, you're the man.
Yeah, he's
so cool.
Because always, so I love him. He's so entertaining. He's so funny, and I actually think he's a nice guy deep down. I did think that Hannah was going a little hard on Tiffany for it being so early in the season, and
first charter, right?
Yeah, and they were out kind of venting and having a few drinks.
And it isn't the place.
Yeah,
They're
it
right.
wasn't. I did agree
place.
with Brian. It wasn't the place and the time for that. I mean, Tiffany wasn't going to remember anything that happened.
Even if she was sober, I don't think it's appropriate. You work really hard. You're supposed to work really hard. When you get that time off, the time is not to talk about work if you don't want to.
Yeah.
And Tiffany clearly wasn't interested in having a conversation about work and hearing about how terrible she was.
Yeah.
So I think it was completely inappropriate by Hannah. And Hannah seems like she's a little bit drama, in my opinion. Whether Tiffany's not totally doing her job right, it's early. I think it's Hannah's responsibility to go above and beyond and act a little bit more comforting.
Yeah, I think she was a little bit too harsh. I agree with you there. And drinking wasn't the time and place. She could have had a meeting the next day, said, hey, can we talk? There's some issues I have with your work ethic. And then they could have worked it out. And that would have been so much more professional than drunk yelling.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like they're away in a different country. They don't have their friends, their family there to go out with and vent to. So they need a break, Everybody's got to turn it off, and I just think that wasn't helping anyone.
And Chef Ben, he says it exactly. I mean, he says exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the truth. You work hard, you're working together. Talk about it during work, not after work. Sometimes there's other issues. Right. And you got to talk about it after. That was not the right time.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
So at dinner, there's a lot of sparks flying between a bunch of them. Already, I feel like there's a lot of potential couples. We have Brian, who's kind of crushing on Tiffany, says she's kind of cool.
Yeah. And Ben was too,
Yeah. Julia and Brian are kind of hitting it off.
Bobby.
Even though, Julia and Bobby. Yeah. Even though she has a boyfriend. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Those two. Yeah. I don't know how stable Mabel's gonna be, because I think the two of them have such chemistry together. I mean, they have like a elementary school playground crush kind of thing. He's saying that she made his hat smelly, and she's like wanting to sit by him, and it was just so cute. I don't know. I don't think that it looks like their her boyfriend back at home.
I just wonder how much she likes the attention, like male attention, and misses her boyfriend, or how much she actually likes him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I also think she might be a little immature. She joked about what maintain means.
Yeah.
When it seemed like it was out of place in that sentence. Was it really?
He's kind of immature too, though.
Well, that's absolutely that's probably true. It just seems she's a little bit young, or the way she acts sometimes in these situations. Maybe she wants the attention, maybe not. But she seems pretty cool. But what about the trade that Tiffany and Brian made with the pillows? They traded the fluffy for the squishy. So I want to know. And I want you guys to tell us, are you guys fluffy pillow or squishy pillow? Because I'm fluffy. I'm all about a fluffy pillow.
I'm hard pillow, actually.
You're hard?
I'm like a mix.
Like
I'm a mix, I think. I like it needs to be firm enough. I can't stand if it just crushes down. But I also can't take it to be, too hard.
I just love a bed that has multiple fluffy pillows.
Yes.
So heaven.
You gotta have multiple.
You jump onto the bed.
Yeah.
At least that's what I do.
That's funny. And then after that, when they traded pillows, she kind of made a little comment.
Yeah,
and his face was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what does this mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Brian was kind of like, I don't know if he's really so interested in any of them. He seems all business to me. I don't know if he's really gonna, it kind of reminds me of Eddie from the first, I think, season. The second season, he got a little naughty, but he doesn't seem like he wants to mess up his reputation or do the wrong thing or upset the captain with drama. So I don't know if he's gonna make a move for anybody, but I do think some people...
Michael disagrees with you there.
Really?
You don't think he's going to make a move? I think that he could be smooth and professional and still make a move. And it's early, and I think he's playing the field. And I think that the reason that he would probably seems he was very touchy-feely with Hannah when they were walking before dinner even started.
They looked...
And right? He was hand around the shoulder. I like you. We're doing the same thing. Then he's into Tiffany maybe. So it's...
Wouldn't it be unprofessional if he did hook up with one of them because he is their superior?
Absolutely, but
I do.
It's tough though when you're in tight quarters, and those are tight quarters in a yacht.
And at the same point in time, they're all, adults making adult decisions. If they want to engage, I guess it's their prerogative.
I feel like it would just get awkward, and maybe people would be jealous because they'd think like, oh, well, she's getting privileges now.
Right.
Oh,
That
but
could
she's not better than
tricky.
me. I don't know. It's very awkward territory.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that he would hook up with someone, but I definitely think that he's not totally opposed. Like, he's going to just do his thing, take his job seriously, which it looks like he does, and we'll see. I mean, there's guests too. Who knows?
What I did like about Brian this episode is he FaceTimed his parents. I thought that was so cute. It was like a different side of him that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I loved that. I thought that was really sweet and made him a bit more human to me, because sometimes I think he can come off a little bit stern and serious and,
It was nice that he was able to FaceTime, which made me think immediately, though, if he was able to FaceTime his
Why
dad,
is the Wi-Fi not working?
why couldn't they stream the football game so well?
Good point.
Yeah,
Their
but they
FaceTime
had
was
docked at
perfect.
that point, and I think, when they were out at sea, or at least at a smaller island or something, when they were trying to get the the football game.
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't think about that. Or maybe that was off his data instead of his Wi-Fi. I don't know.
It was a good stream. Also, though, was it his mom too? We don't know because they kept saying his dad. They didn't mention who the female was. I mean, there was a female,
you're right. It
but
could
they
be a
specifically
stepmom or
said dad. So I don't know.
You're
I don't
right.
want to touch on that. But it was a nice moment that he really appreciated his father. He said he had such a good relationship with his father, and it's nice to see that even he's in Greece and he's able to communicate with him.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows why he's so tough too, because he really respects his dad, and it seems like he's an inspiration. Also, we got some backstory for Danny. He said that his father was an alcoholic, and that's why he wants to take care of the group. And I thought that was sweet too. Kind of shows who he is too.
Yeah.
Danny seems like he's a smooth operator. He wants to go above and beyond. He's made that clear. Seems like a fun guy to be around.
Yeah, well, that preview looks interesting. It looks like he is
Maybe
going to
too
get
much
some
fun.
action. Yeah, he's definitely the smooth operator, huh?
And I think, especially because he's new, he doesn't really know the borders or the boundaries he shouldn't cross. So I think it potentially could become a problem. We got anything in the live chat?
Yeah, that's what we're reading.
Yeah.
They say the husband just wanted to see the game and didn't care about being there. I agree. That's what I was saying. Thank you, Joseph Boza.
He may have, but that's okay. He's spending a lot of money to do whatever he wants. That's the truth.
Yeah, but if you're
And he's
gonna
going
travel,
there for his wife or his partner, right? He's there in addition. I get it. You could be too obsessed with something, but I feel like that idea is not for us to decide what he should be appreciating.
yeah,
We want to be in Greece,
but I
of
think
course.
that you can't go on and say it's a non-negotiable. If you're going to Europe on a small island on a yacht, Wi-Fi is.
I think if he doesn't spur it on them last minute, and he says ahead of time he's paying a lot of money, he has the right to say whatever he wants, whether I like it, whether you like it. I'm not saying that's what he should do with his time. I'm just saying he's spending a lot of money. He really wants to watch the Steelers. If he says it's non-negotiable, he should get to watch it. Of course, it's one of those things. They're trying.
Yeah.
You can't really get mad at anyone. They tried their best. They did it really good. I mean, the one thing I've noticed too is not only is Chef Ben awesome, but it looks like the captain Mark is a great
seems like
guy.
a boss.
He seems like the kind of boss you want to work for.
Exactly.
Seems like very good boss. You're going to work hard, but he's going to make it light, fun, and approachable for everyone, and let you have fun as well. He just seems like the kind of guy you want to hang out with after work, not just leave work by have no problem, have a drink with him. It seems like he's on top of his game, which is going to be a good sign for this season and the castmates.
I completely agree. He seems like a real class act. And I liked that, you know, he thanked the lady as well when they were coming into the dock. He seems like a nice guy, and he really tries. And Chef Ben was pretty impressed with his skills, and he's clearly been on a lot of yachts. So.
And Chef Ben has been on point from past seasons of Below Deck with his viewpoints and what he sees. And one we didn't touch on early in the show on is I found it interesting when they were talking in the kitchen or where Chef Ben is cooking, and he's kind of getting frustrated, like, this is where I work.
Yeah.
You guys have your conversation outside.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that because that showed Ben's character.
You're totally Chef Ben team.
Well, yeah.
I am. He's doing his job because Chef Ben, he knows when it's time to turn on and turn off. And when it comes to his food, his job is to be the chef. He wants to give these people a remarkable experience, serve them amazing food, and he puts his name on it, and you could see, right?
He takes pride in his work, and I think the thing that's really great about his point is the kitchen is his office. I mean, you wouldn't go into somebody else's office and just start chatting, but people view the kitchen as a gathering place and a place where everybody wants to mingle and kind of feel comfortable. But it's his workspace, so people have to respect that, and I think especially when he's plating, he's really creating artwork. So, you know, he has to concentrate and be focused, and I like that he stands up for himself, but then he also can kind of calm down once he's done.
He also, you can tell by his demeanor, the way he approaches it and talks, it's the right approach. It's not get out of here like I feel like Hannah or someone else may do. He just he has a good ability about himself to communicate well.
Yeah.
Get his point across, but not in a rude manner, understandably, and it shows that he takes pride in his work, which is a great sign for the entire season for all the cast. I mean, they're eating all these meals there, and he takes so much pride. It's beautiful. It was a true sign of too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It should only be Ben.
It's interesting because I don't really think about it because I don't really see cooks cook that much, but it totally is their art form. And so it was really interesting to see that. Also, the guests finally leave, and they seem like they're pretty happy, but Christine says, well, there was a few hiccups.
Yeah, I almost for a second I was like, is this going to be the first charter ever on Below Deck where they don't get a tip? But no, of course. I mean, nobody would want to look that way on national television. But I did think it was really nice that her husband said it was the best trip I've ever been on. He kind of got over the fact that he missed the game, and they gave a really generous tip.
They really did. I mean, 15,000 euros split amongst the crew, 3 days.
It's almost $500 a day. I guess.
I wonder how much the whole trip was. I'm not really sure. I know I couldn't afford it, but I'm just curious how much they actually pay for a whole trip. Thousands?
Well, they each got $13.88 for the 3 days. That's amazing.
$13.80? I thought they each got like $500.
No, $13.88 each.
So it's like $500, almost $500 a day, because it was a 3-day charter.
I didn't know if that was in. I didn't know if they did the computation into dollars or if it was euros, because euros are even more. But that's a great for 3 days, and it really shows you how much of filming that they get from just 3 days. That charter makes it seem like they were on the boat for a week.
It's true.
They're like living there.
Yeah, we got 2 episodes out of that one.
Realistically, there's a lot of material out of that charter.
I wonder how much of the drama the charter guests actually know is going on, or how much of it is really below deck. You know, I mean, because I wouldn't think they have any idea of all the drama going on, and they must watch the show afterwards and be like, "Holy cow!" You know.
I didn't think I don't think they saw any. Maybe with the TV streaming for the game would be the only time. I mean, tell us what you guys thought in the chat or on Twitter at any point. Let us know. But definitely, it seemed like the crew, even when they have issues, they're handling it outside of the people's views, which is what you have to do no matter what. So
yeah, I think that's the professional move, is to keep it between the crew and don't extend that off to the guests. Keep it very chill. So did you guys have any other thoughts?
Well, we kind of I forgot to mention this when we were talking about Tiffany earlier. WTF, did anybody see the pictures that they had posted of her travels when she was talking about how she was a gypsy? And there was like, I can't remember what it was so fast, but was this like the Washington Monument or something coming out of her vagina?
Oh no, I didn't
What was
notice.
it? Do you guys see? She had her like legs split open.
But you know, she says she's a bro, so maybe, you know, it's kind of like guy humor.
It was definitely guy humor.
And I think it's interesting that she mentions that she only gets along with guys, because sometimes, honestly, those girls that say that that are really cool. Like I like I'm a bro sometimes. But then sometimes people that say that sometimes have drama issues themselves.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I don't know which camp we'd put her in.
Just in a different form, because sometimes those bro-y chicks like to be like, oh, that's so, like, I'm not getting involved in the drama. And it's like sometimes a woman's just having a conversation with a woman. It's not drama unless you make it drama. So sometimes I think it can be used as a cop-out. And I actually do think when Hannah, although I don't think it was the right timing, I think she was actually approaching Tiffany in kind of a nice way. She wasn't being too mean, I didn't think, at the bar.
True, but she had just called her a trash bag behind her back. So that was a little harsh.
Right.
But I guess you're saying, like, she wasn't yelling
actually
at
to her face. I thought that she was trying to, like, have a productive conversation.
I guess, but always have those convos sober.
Yeah.
Don't want to have them drunk.
Right.
Yeah, I said what I had to say. I'm Team Tiffany right now.
I don't know. I actually really did feel bad for her when she was crying.
Yeah.
It was
I
unnecessary.
did too. Yeah.
End of story.
Hopefully she can prove herself.
Yeah. And when you see somebody's that upset, you should back off a little, especially so early in the game, as Chef Ben said. You know, you've got the whole season to...
Chef Ben is Team Tiffany right now, so...
Yeah.
We'll see.
So whatever Chef
I'm
Ben
Chef
does
Ben.
is what Michael's down for.
So
No, he's right, though. He's right.
No, he is.
which potential relationship do you think is the strongest right now?
Bobby and Julia. Oh my gosh, it is hot, hot, hot. I definitely think there's going to be something happening there. I feel bad for the banker back at home. He's going to have a broken heart, I think.
Stable Mabel.
Yeah, stable.
She calls it.
Or they're still together and he's watching it right now and it's super awkward.
Yeah,
I don't know
we're-
which.
The other thing is, she kind of reminds me of Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast. Like, when she, with her, like, little British accent, and she was like, multitask, like, you have to get a drink and fluff a pillow at the same time. And she just kind of, like, so uppity. And like, not uppity, like, a mean way, just, like, prim and proper kind of trying.
Yeah,
It's
she's
just
super
that,
cool.
it's the accent, the British accent.
And I guess because she's, like, doing stew work. So it seems like
Yeah, I could see it.
yeah.
I think that the strongest relationship right now is Danny and the charter guests that are coming aboard.
For the previews.
Yeah.
That's
True.
That's the strongest in my opinion.
Yeah. He just wants to party with the guests. He wants to get in the hot tub.
And he wants to party. Even
Yeah.
when they got off of this charter and they had time off, remember he said, I'm going to party. Like, it's
Yeah.
time. I'm going to take advantage of this boat.
He's so new, and I think it really shows in some of his actions.
Yeah. Speaking of partying,
fresh-faced.
what did you think of Tiffany sculling the bottle of wine?
I didn't judge too much. I don't know. I think they were kind of harsh about it.
I think absolutely. Who cares? She's off work. She's in a foreign country. I studied abroad. I've lived in Europe before. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought that was simply Hannah just choosing something to be negative about. Yeah, maybe it's not the most classy thing, but they weren't dressed up to go to some classy event. They're going out on the town. That's it. She brought a bottle. I don't see any issues with it at all.
It could be she kind of seemed like an American that couldn't really like hold her liquor versus, people in Europe tend to be sort of judgmental,
I think
whether
it
necessarily true or not.
Well, I think it depends the part of Europe you're in. Definitely.
Yeah.
There are certain areas of Europe they are, and there's some that they hold bottles and walk around all the time.
yeah.
So it depends where you are. That's true.
It didn't bother me about that as much, the fact that she was American or European or whatever. I thought the thing that was a little off about it is you are still in a work environment. As much as we're saying, like, you have your night off and everything, you are still working with these people, and you want to keep it professional and hopefully be hired for another charter to work with these people. So I do think you have to kind of keep some decorum.
I think you're right. Absolutely, you do have to have decorum, but I didn't see her throwing up. First of all,
She was a little sloppy. She was a bit of a hot mess.
on past Below Deck seasons, we've seen throwing up and
Yeah.
actual inebriated. I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't know if Tiffany would tell us, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave her that bottle of wine to take out with her.
Yeah.
Not
and-
something where she just picked it up at the store and then she's
Yeah.
just walking around. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised because you know how these shows are.
Yeah, they want to
especially.
get you liquored up.
But you make a good point. It's no matter what, you are still representing this yacht, your team members, and you shouldn't be too drunk. If anything, if you're that frustrated, maybe you talk to her and say, hey, I'd prefer if you don't walk around with the bottle
Yeah.
just drinking from it.
Yeah.
But I
Put it
thought
in a cup.
You could put it in the cup, or you hold off. And I think we have to see. For me, it's too early in the season to judge.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if this is the way Tiffany is, and it causes issues.
Or she was just blowing off some steam.
Yeah. And if Tiffany shows up to work tomorrow and she's perfect and does her job, then that's fine. It's not I don't think it's my job to judge what she does in her off time, whether it's on the camera or not.
It's true.
So we'll see. But this could be a recurring theme where then she can't handle alcohol and it's really trouble.
Right.
And then that's fair to be like, listen, come on, do you see how it's affecting you?
Yeah.
But I think it's too early to judge. I don't have the information. I don't want to make judgments.
Yeah. And she did say no to the shots.
She did.
So that shows somebody that has some sense of, restraint.
Very true.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens week 3.
Yeah.
So now let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Michael, what do you think?
Well, I kind of already said it, but I'm gonna go.
Just elaborate.
I'm gonna go with Danny getting really close to the charter guests. We saw from a preview that it looks like Danny's having quite some fun. I think the entire cast is, though, because it looks like they're really gonna have a closer relationship with the next crew. A bunch of models, it looks like, come on board for next week's episode, and so I think maybe more than just Danny will be getting close or closer to the guests, and it will be interesting how that plays out. Also, the development of Tiffany's relationship with Hannah, to me, is going to be interesting. I think it's going to continue to deteriorate.
Gosh, I think there are so many, unique relationships starting out. I definitely think Bobby and Julie, as we said, I think there's definitely something going to happen there. But listen, it's a really good-looking cast all around. I think everybody on that boat is pretty attractive, so I think there are going to be a lot of romances and flirtations and hookups. And then I also just think, there's going to be some tension between Brian and Jen. I mean, you can smell that from a mile away. It's like all over the place. And then also, of course, Hannah and Tiffany. They look like it's not going to get better.
So a lot of flirting and a lot of tension.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Which should make for good episodes.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great TV.
Keep it
I'm
up.
excited. Tune in with us to talk about it.
I predict that things are going to heat up between Brian and Tiffany. And actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. I think it's going to heat up between Ben and Tiffany. And that's going to be super awkward between Ben and Hannah because Hannah hates Tiffany and Hannah thinks Ben is hot.
Yeah.
So she's going to just hate Tiffany even more when she steals her man.
I could see that, yeah.
It's not her man.
Okay,
She
it's not
might
her
think
man,
it is,
but
women like to,
Claim.
stake their claim.
Yes.
Yeah.
so we'll definitely have to see what happens.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting.
Yeah. Very
Well,
good.
thank you guys so much for joining us. Be sure to like, comment, rate, subscribe, and tweet us because we love to hear what you guys think. Thank you for watching live and joining us in the live chat. I'm your host, Jamie Banks, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JamieBanks_. And with me,
I'm Angela Struck, and you can find me on Twitter at @theAngelaStruck and on Instagram at Angela Struck.
And I'm Michael Rippe, and you can find me on social media at Mike Rips. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
thank you. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.